What's up, guys? Welcome back to JodabeniTV. Today's another amazing day to get out there, and we're gonna be better today than we were yesterday. And for today's video, we're pretty much gonna be looking at the new MLS Next Academy that just been officially released by the MLS. And today we're pretty much gonna give you everything you need to know about it, the rules, the regulations, and just how to join the academy itself. So earlier this year, as we all know, the USDA had officially, closed down everything with all these academies due to COVID, and just, I guess they found it as the perfect time just to close it all out and just start afresh. And for the past few months, we haven't been, given too many details on what the MLS were going to do with the remaining teams that, the USDA was supposed to run. But now a lot of those teams have been merged into the new MLS League, and the official name is going to be called MLS Next. And the Next is supposed to represent next generation. So the age groups is going to be running from U13 all the way to U19. And currently they're looking forward to having regional competitions and also national competitions. But as of right now, they're waiting for the COVID, to calm down so that everybody can be free to travel to games wherever it may be. So one of the biggest aspects of the MLS Next is that a lot of the games are going to be local. So they made an emphasis on this because a lot of the times whenever games are far away, the expenses that teams had to pay players and parents just to go to a match were really high. And sometimes if a family didn't have that amount, you didn't go to your match. So now they're gonna try to focus it around a more locally based matches. And then as things progress, maybe when you get to national level, then the teams will have to take out a lot of money to spend. But if you have the team saving all this travel cost money, when it comes to national competitions, it'll be easy to cover all of those fees without having everybody, carrying a large stack of fees to cover for their child or for yourself. So the MLS Next is actually going to consist of 113 clubs. And in those clubs, there's going to be a total of 489 different teams. And, even though the USDA closed down, a lot of clubs were shut down, now there's still 489 teams that you can make it on if you believe you're good enough. But, a lot of the teams that got hurt are mainly in Canada, but if you live in the US, there's a higher chance that it'll be easier for you to find a team that's close to you. And if it's not close to you, it may be a 1-hour drive. But for some teams that, have been canceled in Canada, some of them weren't brought into the new MLS Academy. So a lot of those kids have maybe like a few teams that they have to find to be a part of the new MLS Next. So currently in the United States, one of the biggest issues with academy soccer is that a lot of players have to pay to play. And as we all know, in European leagues or academies, a lot of the times all of those expenses are covered. You don't necessarily need a lot of money to be part of most of those programs. So now they're trying to transition that into the MLS. So, you can't just flip everything on a blink of an eye, but as of right now, they're trying to push forward to lower the cost of everything so that, people who don't have the money to play on academies, they can now have a chance. So to improve the recruiting process, the MLS Next, they're trying to pretty much broaden the length of where they find players by actually creating programs that are going to be close to no cost or even low cost, so that players who don't have the abilities to play or pay to play on these teams, now they're going to be able to get through that and won't have to worry about that barrier. The good thing about this is that a lot of times there's players that may, they may have all the skills necessary, but they just need that extra push. Maybe just somebody to help them go through these academies so they can make it to the next professional level. But some of these players may never meet that person or somebody who can help them financially. And this way it's gonna, help reduce that barrier so anybody can have a chance in the MLS. And this will help the whole MLS system grow in general. Because in the future, when you have everybody that's good, able to play in the MLS, now you have scouts who can see them, and the journey for them to become a professional player is gonna be much smoother. Now, if we look at the rules that the MLS Next has set up for each club. So if you're wondering if you're gonna be able to play while playing high school, now I'm gonna say all the rules that's gonna help you decide if you wanna be part of the MLS Next. So the first things first is now there's no territorial barriers with these teams. So no team can claim a territory where other teams can't recruit. Now teams from anywhere can recruit players from anywhere. So let's say you live in Houston and there's another team in a different area, but because of the old rules that apply to the DA academies, you couldn't play on those teams even though you wanted to, even though that team was better. There may have been a team that technically owned you because you were in their territory. But now that is removed, so you can go join any team from anywhere and be a part of it. So if your favorite team, a good team is, a different place, and you want to be part of a better team, by all means go for it, and it's all gonna be in your hands. Another thing I noticed is that clubs can now play tournaments outside of the MLS Next competitions, but they can ask as long as they have permission. So pretty much, it used to be, if you're on a Houston Dynamo Academy, you can only play matches related to the academies, etc. You couldn't just go to a local tournament. But now clubs are free to do that. So this will be a better chance for those players who don't get the time playing another MLS academy team. Maybe now the bench players or people who didn't get enough minutes can go on another day playing a different tournament. Even though they're not playing against other academy kids, they may be playing another tournament with good players. For example, when I was playing with Houston FC, even though they had a bunch of U15, U14 kids, our coach would actually put them in tournaments where they played against grown men. And to me, I feel like that helped a lot of them grow a lot faster because everybody was faster and bigger than them. So now everybody had to focus down on the touches. And growing up in that environment at 14 or 15, by the time you're 18, playing with grown men is like a joke, and you're gonna be at a different level than everybody else. So if you're one of those players who love playing high school soccer so you can be around all your friends, and at the same time you like being competitive and you wanna play on a MLS Next Academy, that's not gonna cut it. So it's official that if you wanna play in any of these academy programs, you're not allowed to play high school soccer. The only exception is if you go to a high school where it's a soccer school and you earn the scholarship to play soccer at that high school, then you're allowed to stay in that program, because if you're not playing soccer, you can't go to the school, which wouldn't be fair if they wouldn't let you stay at that high school. And on game days, there's going to be approximately an 18-player roster, and there's unlimited subs only in 3 moments of the game. So a coach can put as many players in, but he only has 3 times to do subs, and after the 3rd time, there can't be any more subs. But in those subs, in those 3 moments of the game, they can sub in as many players as possible to give everybody as many chances as possible. So now that you know about the MLS Next, to join it is actually pretty simple. So if you go on the MLS website, and you're gonna see the new Next page, and if you actually go to the list where they have all the teams, you can see every team that's going to be listed in America, and Canada. So if there's a team next to you, be sure to click on the link, and once you click the link and you go there, it's pretty much on every single website per team, there's gonna be a spot where they have trials, and you get to decide if you want to trial or not. Select the link, and a lot of them will leave an email. Some of them have different ways for you to be able to trial, but every single academy gives you an opportunity to message the coaches or get a trial. So if you think you're good enough and you want to play at the next level, by all means, don't be afraid to shoot your shot. So go out there and trial and find your team that's closest to you, and I hope I see you guys all in the MLS. All right, so thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like it, subscribe, and share with anybody who wants to know more about the MLS Next. And I'll see you guys in the next video. JodabeniTV is out.